So is there a way that, right now, at home, people watching this, say the 4 areas again?
Yes. Fight, flight, freeze, and faint.
So if someone can identify those areas within themselves right now,
yes,
how does that help someone take a first step? I know you work with people, this is what you work with, but right now, is there a step someone can take within themselves by identifying those patterns?
Yes, yes. So the step that can be taken is, typically there's 2 dominant ones that are our favorites. Okay, so fighters scream out and punch and hit. Flyers run.
Right.
Freezers are like deer in headlights, where there's just this frozen state. And fainters space out. And so just knowing, okay, what are your dominant modes? Do I fight and space out? Do I fight and fly? So you can identify with probably a couple of them. And if you're in partnership, it's really fascinating to identify what your partner's modes are, because typically they dovetail. So in other words, fighters and flyers find freezers and fainters, and we grow. It's all about growth, yeah. And so what you can do at home, and first of all, identifying and recognizing that these dominant modes, let's say fighting and flying, are modes that are trying to meet needs for protection. And so that's the instinct body trying to protect. Bringing the intuition in, we can develop strategies to meet the need to protect that are actually more effective than screaming and flailing or what have you.
Well, this dovetails into, I know some work that's very near and dear to you, the work of Marshall Rosenberg, nonviolent communication. You were just talking about strategies to meet our needs. And I know from the reading I've done of Marshall Rosenberg, that's a lot of what he addresses, or strategies, better strategies to meet our needs.
Yes, less costly strategies,
less costly. So this is another area that came into your life a few years ago. Could you talk a little bit about how the nonviolent communication and Marshall Rosenberg came into your life?
Yes.
And how that's been for you and what you're doing with it now?
Yes. Thank you for asking. It's one of my favorite subjects these days. I'm so inspired by nonviolent communication, which I'll probably call NVC, often when I'm speaking about it, just for short. It came into my life many years ago, actually. I was introduced to it about 18 years ago when I was living in the Midwest. And I heard about this guy, Marshall Rosenberg, who was around town from time to time, and you really got to meet him, and I hadn't met him. But when I came to Maui 4 years ago, a friend here told me about Krista Morf, who's my NVC mentor. And I'm so grateful to Krista for the work that she's doing in nonviolent communication. And when I went to her first gathering that I went to with NVC, I became so inspired because of the focus on the needs. I have studied lots of different forms of communication, and none of them focused on need energy like this work does. Yeah,
because I know you've done the Imago work,
yes,
which is the Harville Hendricks couples counseling.
Yes.
I know you like that. You've done NLP,
yes,
neuro-linguistic programming.
Yes.
And you're finding this to really hit the nail on the head, so to speak, or
yes,
you're liking this a lot to work with right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm really enjoying the empowerment that it brings to stay focused on, okay, what's needed, and that anger or fear is connected to unmet need. And if we can get to what's needed and find out what's needed, then oftentimes the fear and the anger is alleviated. And it's
so give an example of that. I mean, first of all, again, someone watching at home, what are some first steps that they can take? there's a book that perhaps they could pick up.
Yes.
Workshops that are offered, or just what's a first step someone could take at home, knowing, as we all do, there's needs in my life and I just don't know how to address them. What are some steps that people can take?
Yes. Some steps that can be taken right now at home, thinking about what kinds of tools can be used. There's a book that Marshall recently published called Speak Peace, and the subtitle is What You Say Next Will Change Your Life, I think.
And I know it's highlighted, what you say next will change your life. It's not about changing somebody else's life.
Yeah.
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 And then by that, we can change the world around us.
Yes.
That this work really focuses on us changing our inner environment.
Yes.
And thereby affecting the world around us.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Staying connected to the compassion that's alive in us at all times. And so another resource that you can do at home is to go onto the website cnvc.org.
That's cnvc.org.
Yes, it's the Center for Nonviolent Communication.org. And on there, there's lots of resources around, okay, what is a need, first of all, and lists of what needs are, along with lists of emotions. And so it's a great tool. The website provides a great tool. And just as an example, you had asked about an example.
Yes.
Let's say you're married and your husband doesn't squeeze the toothpaste holder where you want it squeezed.
Yeah, seems small and insignificant, but we know that can get to you. We know that.
Yeah,
yeah.
Or doesn't change the toilet paper when the roll runs out. These kinds of things that really can create a lot of conflict.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so the task is to find out what you need. Okay, so the toothpaste. Find out what you need. Oh, I have a need for order. I have a need for efficiency. I'd really like him to squeeze it from the bottom and not from the top, if this is the example, yeah. And then coming from this place of need, of, okay, I have a need for order and I have a need for efficiency, and coming from this place of need and making a request of, let's say, the husband, saying, you know, and maybe even sometimes there's a little embarrassment about these things, you know.
Right, because it seems trivial.
It seems trivial, and we squirm about ourselves sometimes in these situations. But maybe it's even, you know, I'm feeling a little embarrassed, and I would like to talk with you, and are you available for that? And the partner's interested, oh, a little embarrassed, yeah. Okay, I'm noticing that I have this ongoing thing about the toothpaste inside me, and I'd really like it if you would squeeze it from the bottom, because it helps me meet my need for order and efficiency.
And the other person might say, "Oh, why are you so fussy? Why are you making such a big deal out of that?" And
then, so, are you feeling irritated that I'm bringing up this issue about the toothpaste?
Yeah, I feel like it's a small thing. Why are you making such a big deal out of the toothpaste?
Yeah, I feel like it's a small thing too, and I'm feeling embarrassed right now, and I'm bringing it up because I really want to connect with you, and I really want you to know what comes alive in me at times, like when I'm tired and I'm going to sleep and the toothpaste isn't coming out right, and I know it is. I agree with you that it's not that big of a thing, and it's also something that I want you to know, because I want you to know what comes alive in me.